Alright, it's your boy Crypto Blood. Welcome to another episode of My Two Satoshis. Doing an in-car video today. It's nice outside, and I was gonna do a video a little later, but in the studio. But man, this news about PPT, I thought I would kind of talk about that with you guys today. We're gonna talk about PPT. The article they put out on Populous World's blog earlier today. It's really messed up for the token holders, but it's a good move for the company, and it just demonstrates what I've been preaching. And many of you don't follow me, many of you don't watch my videos. That's why you losing money, that's why you upset and all that stuff. But I've been saying this for a long time. I want to start looking at ICOs as literally a pledge to support a team and a movement you really believe in, not an investment. I said that many times last year. I said that STOs, which are security token offerings, would be the new wave. You know, you have IEOs going on now, and that's what we're going to talk about today as well regarding this whole IEO movement. I think it's better as far as less scams being done where the companies just run off with your money. But they're still, from what I can tell, they're all still ICOs. They're not STOs. But yeah, we're going to talk about IEOs today as well. But you got to be really just supporting the movement, you know what I'm saying, and not looking for too much in return. If you get lucky, it goes up in price, cool. You know, after the platform rolls out, they knock it out the park. There ends up being a huge demand for the platform, and then conversely a huge demand for the token. But at any point they could pivot away from a token based model, which many will continue to do. You have to. There's no way. I've like I said, I've said this before. I've started 2 tech startups, and it was just hard enough trying to get people to use the platform without a token, let alone having that additional barrier to entry, where now you got to have, you're narrowing your niche, your target market, your total addressable market is what it's called. Your TAM becomes so small when you only allow tokens to be utilized. So when you do that, you're really not gonna, the failure rate goes up so high, exponentially more challenging for the team to really get the ball running, or rolling, I should say. Got my coffee, people. If you ever want to know what Crypto Blood drinks, at least from Starbucks, it's a Doppio Campana. That's 2-shot espresso over whip. I gotta give my wife all credit for that one. She put me up on that, but it works well, man. It's a double shot, little whip on top, and boom, it's perfect. It's not as harsh. It takes, that whipped cream takes a little bit of the harshness from the double shot away, but I still get the boost I need. It's your boy Crypto Blood. You see that? You see that? Yeah. So the market cap right now, guys, is around $237 billion at the time of recording, and Bitcoin is still above 8K. That's amazing. I don't see us going any further than 6,000. 6 should now be the floor. Where we go in between now and in the future, no one knows, but I can just fundamentally say I think that 6K is the floor. Do we head lower before we head higher? Possibly. Do we head higher before we head lower? Possibly. Either direction is possible. No one truly knows. It's a 50-50 guess. You have some people saying it will go higher then come back, and you have some people saying it'll go lower then return to newer highs. 50-50, people, and no one really knows. But you do have areas of support or resistance as markers where you can kind of test your theory on what's going on in the markets. But anyway, we're gonna take a look at this first article, which is out of Cointelegraph, and it talks about IEOs. You know, I was telling you guys that the new wave of issuing ICOs is through an IEO, which does again safeguard the end user from being totally scammed out. At least there's an extra layer of vetting going on, because now you have the exchange, their brand, their name is now on the line. So you're going to get even top, like better and top tier ICOs coming out in 2019 and beyond because of the IEO platform or the way of rolling out a ICO. But this particular person, this SEC Crypto Czar, is saying that platforms listing IEOs may face regulatory trouble. So the whole reason why they started doing IEOs was to circumvent some of the restrictions when it comes to US citizens. Right now it's kind of being routed through the exchange, and now the exchange is kind of issuing the token, so it's not really it's just adding a new token to the exchange. So they try to use, they're trying to use this loophole to allow US citizens to really still participate in the ICO market. So it says SEC and Exchange Commission advisor for digital assets and innovation said that platforms seeking to list initial exchange offering tokens for a fee could find themselves in regulatory trouble. Valerie delivered her comments at the Consensus 2019 conference on May 13th. That conference is all week. We got Blockchain Week in New York. Furthermore, she also said, speaking about IEOs, she argued that platforms seeking to list IEO tokens for a fee and attract buyers for an issuer are likely engaging in broker-dealer activity. This is true under their paradigm, under their whole scheme. This is definitely true. She said if they are not registered, they will find themselves in trouble in the US if they have a US issuer or buyers if they are operating on the US market. Valerie also said that she mentioned the case of Token Lot last September, a cryptocurrency broker-dealer led by Lenny Kujo and Eli L. Lewitt that marketed itself an ICO superstore and said that it was instructive in this regard. She stated that this was a platform that was assisting to bring buyers to ICOs. In that case, there was an enforcement action charging the platform with acting as an unregistered broker-dealer and participating in the distribution in violation of the registration provisions. And I'm just gonna stop right there. It's just so sad. Like, we are not in the land of the free. I don't care. I don't understand. It's almost, it's so delusional. We sheeple here in the US, man. Like, the system is not set up for you to make money. The system is set up to have a glass ceiling to where if you have money, you're able to make more money. The ability to make more money is available to you. If you don't have any money, it's very hard to make it above that glass level. You've gotta, it's just a luck of the draw. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's just crazy, man. And people say start your own business. Yeah, you can start your own business, but what people fail to realize is that most sole proprietors, at least, they make maybe $45,000, $50,000 a year is the average. Now, is money everything? No, it's not. But it just depends on how much you are a slave to your business. If you're a slave to your business and you're making $40,000, $50,000 a year, it's probably more worth your while to go work for someone. And there's nothing wrong with working for someone at all. There are pros and cons of that. But if you're able to, and you're skillful enough to make it above 100,000, 150,000 and beyond as a business owner, then and you're not slaving, you're not a slave to your business, then maybe that's a position to be in, and maybe you can make it above that glass ceiling to really take advantage of many of the things that Wall Street, I'm just putting it to you that way, Wall Street locks out a lot of people because the money is being made on Wall Street. That's where the money is being made. If you want to be a fisherman, where do you go? You go to the fisherman, you go to the boat, you get on the boat and you go hit the water and you go out there where the fish are. A fisherman is expected to catch fish. A Wall Streeter is expected to make money. They're the closest to the money. That's where it's at. So, but anyway, the article goes on to talk about the SEC publishing framework developed by Valerie and another commissioner, Bill Hinman, to help market participants ascertain whether or not a digital asset is deemed to be an investment, contract, or therefore a security. The framework is intended to serve as an analytical tool that will help operators of ICOs and token issuers determine whether their offering is likely to fall subject to federal securities laws. Man, this is going to be interesting because you're going to see a whole slew of SEC smackdowns on some of these IEO tokens, and it's going to affect the price too. So now you got to, you guys got to start thinking about which IEOs you're going to participate in, because there may be some headwind there, some tail risk in pricing that maybe you have not thought about. Man, this is crazy. The US, man, is just so horrible when it comes to, I'm not saying we're the worst. I'm not by far. There are countries that are much worse. I talk to my Russian guy all the time. He's from Russia. And, I agree. Like, it definitely there are definitely places that are worse than here as far as being able to have economic mobility, upward mobility. But the way we perceive, the way we're brainwashed inside of the US and maybe outside to some that are aspiring to come to the US, man, it's still a system, people. It's still a system, and you got to work hard to get yourself above that glass level. Now, the second article is a bombshell. People are going crazy in the Webbot room, and even some people I saw in the Populous room going crazy. So there's an article put out this morning by Populous World, and it says Populous World announces the additional use of fiat on the platform. Before I get started, I'm going to read the whole article. Before I get started, I'm going to say this. I don't feel sorry for any of the token holders that are still holding tokens, because I put evidence out there for you to understand. I'm not even just talking about this last video I did about PPT, but the video I did a year or so ago when I said I sold my PPT and I gave you my reasons why. I was called a fraudster then, a EOS lover, a pedo token lover, all that back then. And I spelled out why I did not think that the token that I was holding was of any value, or the value of it was not going to be much. The utility of it, if they wanted to survive, and again, just assessing how that business is, having only a ERC20 token to access the platform really blocks yourself from growing. You can't scale. It's all about scale when you're starting a business, especially like a tech kind of business. You have to scale. You have to scale. And I'll try to remember to drop a link to that video in the comments below. I'll pin it so you guys can watch it. But yeah, I don't feel sorry for the token holders at all. I think it's a good move for Populous. I think it's a really good move for Populous to do what they're doing, because it's the only way they're going to survive and make money, or start to make money and scale. They've got to do this. They've got to do this. But what I don't like, and what I'm still critical about, is what I covered about Populous. Them moving funds from their wallets, and they actually moved more funds a couple of days ago. I didn't cover it because I don't care. Like, I've already put my 2 Satoshis out there on what's going on. I let you guys know. I kept you informed. And at the end of the day, you're grown people. You got to make the decision up for yourself. I'm not here to, I'm not getting paid by you to be an advisor or to consult with you. If you need consulting, hit me up. I have a billable hourly rate. Hit me up if you need some consultation. With that being said, the way they went about moving those funds, they moved like another 100,000 or a million, I don't know how much it was, a couple of days ago to hit BTC from the wallets. And of course I covered when they moved all those funds, or it had been evidence showing that they had been moving funds over the last month or so to Binance and selling there. I want to get that out the way. Let me get the preliminaries out of the way so you guys understand that one, I don't feel sorry for the token holders. I've been telling you guys this. 2, think it's a good move for Populous to move in this direction. And 3, they definitely did it wrong as far as not being transparent about them moving funds. You know what I'm saying? They should have done it. I don't know when you do it, but they definitely did. They got you guys. They definitely got you guys on the selling of the tokens. And one more point before I read the article. This illustrates again, like, PPT doesn't owe you anything. You bought tokens, not equity in the company. And you know, one of the reasons why I started becoming like, I don't know about this, was because I felt like a PPP token that paid you dividends is without a shadow of a doubt a security. I don't care where you are, you know, in UK, US, wherever. Being paid dividends is a security. It's a security. So I knew that as a US citizen, I couldn't hold that long term and think that I was gonna really get anywhere with that. But let's go ahead and take a look at this article. It says stable coins will work in tandem with PPT on the invoice finance platform to improve scalability. One of Populous World's key objectives is to grow, and we believe it is fundamental that the platform has to scale. We have tried a few different scaling methods in the past, and after much evaluation, we are confident that this is the best way to scale as quickly as possible. By opening this method to our community, the ecosystem will be stronger, and subsequently the community will strengthen. This move will truly enable everyone to help scale the business while providing value to SMEs by removing any middleman involved in the traditional process. It goes on to say users that participate on auctions and invoices on the platform will now have an alternative by being able to purchase USDC directly off of exchanges and services such as Coinbase and transfer them onto our platform in order to directly convert USDCs into GBP tokens to purchase invoices. The new changes will include 1, the acceptance of fiat, and they're doing that via USDC, the stable coin. PPT will be able to pay for fees to purchase the invoice. PPT to work alongside USDC, and then lastly PPT to be used on the upcoming exchange. So it goes on to talk about PPT for fees. This new update will incorporate PPT as a fee to purchase the invoice and will only be levied to the winner bidder. Hence, before a user can bid to purchase an invoice, the user must have sufficient PPT before he or she can place a bid. The fee will be 0.285% of the invoice value, where the fee will go to Populous World. The fee will then be split in half, with half going to a burn pool, while the other half shall be used to increase the liquidity pool. Another contribution to the burn pool is the withdrawal fee, where the entirety of the fee will be sent to the burn pool as well. This fee model is applicable for both invoice buyers via PPT and USDC. So I'm just gonna stop right there and just go over what my interpretation of that is. And it basically means that people will only have to have 0.285% of the total value of that invoice to pay in Populous tokens. So you can pay the rest of it. It can be issued in US stable coins. Like I said, it makes sense to do it this way. That way, when people come into the platform, they're already in a stable coin. They're in a dollar 1-to-1 stable coin. So they don't have to worry about fluctuation in value there. And all they have to do is purchase a very small fraction of the invoice amount to fulfill the functions that before was you needed 100% of the amount of PPT tokens to to actually do whatever their whatever functionality on the platform. What does this mean? This is big, man. This is big in a bad way, I have to say, for the token holders. Because now the demand for the token, and I was telling someone in the room, in the Webbot room, the demand for the token just shrank about 99.6%, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just, the need for the token has fallen a lot, and you know, it's going to reflect in the price without a shadow of a doubt. Like, was it the right move? Yeah, it was. And I'll kind of summarize everything in a second, but let me just finish this. It says further on, it says PPT to work alongside the USDC. PPT will continue to be used to purchase invoices, as the platform now accepts both PPT and USDC to purchase invoices. This move will allow us to scale beyond the limits of our liquidity pool and allow for more underserved SMEs to receive the financing that they deserve. We are confident that by doing so, we will bring value to PPT users and SMEs alike by removing any friction to the operations. It goes on to say, beyond utility on the invoice financing platform, PPT will also be utilized in the Populous World exchange. At the moment, the exchange will feature discounted rates when using PPT, as well as fees that will be collected in PPT. The development of the exchange is still in progress, but the goal is to produce a best-in-class exchange. More updates will follow regarding this. Regarding the transition, Nico Williams, CEO of Populous World, said that as a startup, we have to be able to pivot as we learn and tackle new challenges. This transition actually allows us to scale much more effectively while knowing that we are doing good to the community by serving SMEs that are deserving. This transition will streamline the focus of the team to only obtain more invoices available on the platform, as previously the efforts have been divided in trying to scale the operation. As this transition takes place, Populous World believes that the company will reach more underserved SMEs. And that's the end of it, people. And so my final thoughts. It's cool they're pivoting in that way, but guess what? It's still the USDC is still a cryptocurrency. It's not fiat. So them pivoting to USDC is cool, and it does open up a little bit more, but anyone using USDC can use PPT. So at the end of the day, ultimately what they will have to do is pivot to accepting fiat in general, like literally accepting fiat directly, ACH, whatever. But then when you do that, where's your competitive advantage? You're adding that friction back into the workflow. Now you're not going to be as competitive as before because you didn't have that friction. I don't know, man. They're in a tough spot. It's a better move to open it up. It totally screws the token holders, but again, I don't feel bad for them at all. And yeah, that's it, man. You guys let me know your thoughts about IEOs and the SEC starting to possibly come after them for allowing U.S. citizens to participate on them. And let me know about Populous. Let me know about Populous, man. This is a blow to the token holders, at least. Good move for the company. Hey, we'll see what happens. Definitely, those out there that were coming at me, what did I ask you for? I asked you for an apology. I'll be looking for that in the comments below. It's your boy Crypto Blood. Make sure you guys like, share, and subscribe, and click that bell. That's my 2 Satoshis for today. I'm out of here, people. Boom.